For this video, I'm going to go over pages 3 and 4 of the Qudratics review. So the first section says find the value of c that would make this a perfect square. So a perfect square comes from completing the square. So we're going to use b divided by 2 squared. That's how we find a perfect square. So I'm going to use my b value. So 12 divided by 2 squared, which would be 6 squared, which would be 36. So 36 is the value that would make that a perfect square trinomial, which is what we use when we complete the square. So this says put each quadratic equation from standard form to vertex form. And then they want us to state the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So if you remember, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c, versus vertex form is a times x minus h squared plus k. So to switch from standard form, which is what it is in now, to vertex form, we're first going to start off by doing opposite b over 2a, just like when we graph. So we're basically going to use the same method as when we graph to find that vertex. So I'm going to do x equals opposite of 6 over 2 times 1, which would be negative 3. Then I'm going to take that negative 3, substitute it back into the equation, and I'm going to get negative 1. So I know my x is negative 3 and my y is negative 1. So that means my vertex is negative 3, negative 1, and my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3. Now, what does this look like in vertex form? Well, y would equal, well, in this case, my a is 1 because there's nothing in front of my x squared. So I'm going to say x, well, normally it's minus h, but if it's minus a negative, it's going to be plus 3 squared, and then this is k, so minus 1. So we use the same idea when we graph, because now we're going to graph these equations that are in vertex form. So remember, when it's in the parentheses, so when I have vertex form, when it's whatever's in the parentheses is left or right, and plus is left and minus is right. Whatever's on the outside is up and down, plus is up, down is minus. So this is saying I'm going to shift left 3, down 1. So my vertex is going to start right here, left 3, down 1. Then I need to use the pattern that we talked about on pages 1 and 2. So 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. So I'm going to go 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side to make it symmetrical. The next page is going to focus on solving quadratics. So from our quadratics unit, we have 4 methods basically to solve with. So factoring, completing the square, square root property, and quadratic formula. So I'm going to go over each of these methods at least once to kind of help us have the best outlook on each one. So I'm going to start with factoring because this first one I'm pretty sure is going to be factorable. Because I can see if I look at this 3 is going to be a GCF for all 3 of those numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the 3. And when I do that, I'll get x squared plus 5x minus 6. So now I need to think about what multiplies to negative 6, but what adds to 5. And since I was able to factor out that a value, I can just go straight into the factored form. So it's going to be a positive 6 and a negative 1. Now, we've been working on factoring, but to solve, I need to make sure I set each of my factors equal to 0. I don't need to worry about the 3 because the 3 doesn't have a variable, so there's no solution for that part. So if I solve, one of my solutions will be negative 6, and one of my solutions will be 1. Number 28 is also factorable, so I'm going to take out a GCF first, which I can see that my GCF would be a 2 and an x. So when I take out a 2x, I would get 4x squared minus 1. Now, technically, I could solve from here and just set each of these parts equal to 0, but technically this second part actually will factor more because it's a difference of squares. So it's going to factor into 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. So since I have 3 x's in this case, I'm going to get 3 solutions. So I'm going to set 2x equal to 0, 2x plus 1 equal to 0, and 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So one of my solutions is going to be that x equals 0. One of my solutions is going to be x equals negative a half. My other solution is going to be x equals positive a half. So we get 3 solutions for this one. And that's mainly because we have an x to the third power. Now, number 30 is not going to be factorable because there's nothing that multiplies to 3 but adds to 12. So I'm going to use completing the square on this one. So the first step when we complete the square is I want to move this c value to the other side because I want to make the left side a perfect square trinomial. So the first thing I'm going to do is minus this 3 to the other side. Then I need to figure out what number goes in this blank. Well, to make it a perfect square, I'm going to do b divided by 2 squared. So that's 12 divided by 2 squared, or 36. When we have an equation, whenever we add to one side, we have to add to the other side. So now I'm going to factor this side. And so what multiplies to 36 but adds to 12 would be 6 and 6, which I can write as x plus 6 squared. And now we're going to solve. So to get rid of this square, the first thing I'm going to do is take the square root of both sides. Remember, when you take the square root, you get 2 solutions. So I'm going to have x plus 6 equals plus or minus the square root of 33. And I'm going to leave it as a square root of 33 because the square root of 33 is not a perfect square, and it also doesn't simplify. If I try to break this down, I get 3 and 11, which doesn't give me any pairs. So my final step is just to finish getting the x alone by moving the 6 over. So x is going to equal negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 33. And we would just leave our answer like that. The next method I'm going to go over is square root method, which is question number 34. So we use square root method kind of when we've already completed the square and I already have something kind of squared and then a number. So I'm going to start off by square rooting both sides. And again, remember, when you square root both sides, I'm going to end up with plus or minus the square root of 27. Now we need to check if this 27 can be simplified. So I'm going to start off by breaking it down. And I actually do get a pair of 3's with a 3 left over. So plus or minus the square root of 27 is going to be plus or minus 3 square root 3. This pair of 3's comes out. This 3 stays on the inside. Now I'm going to finish solving. And I'll get negative 4 plus or minus 3 root 3. All right, the last method is quadratic formula. And before we do any solving regarding factoring or quadratic formula, our equation always needs to be equal to 0. So I'm going to first start off by moving this c value to the other side, so that way my equation is equal to 0. Then let's do a little refresher. I'm going to write down here. Our quadratic formula is opposite b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And this method will work always when it comes to quadratics, but it's just the one that takes the most time. So we don't want to use it unless we have no other method to choose from. So I'm going to do opposite b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Keeping in mind that a is 3, b is 6, and c is negative 1. So now I'm going to start off, and the first thing I'm going to do is just simplify what's underneath this square root. So I'm going to type 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 1 into my calculator. And that'll get me negative 6 plus or minus the square root of, well, it's going to be 36 plus 12, which would be 48 over 6. Now, just like with the problem above, I need to break down any value that's underneath the square root. So I have one pair of 2's, two pairs of 2's. So I have 2 times 2 on the outside, which will be 4. And then I have this 3 left over on the inside. Now, we can simplify this even more because this 6, this 4, and this 6, all 3 of those numbers are divisible by 2. So if I divide each of those by 2, I'm going to get negative 3 plus or minus 2 root 3 all over 3. And so that would be my final simplified answer in radical form.